We know being a flexitarian or semi-vegetarian is better for your health, the environment, and your bank account. So today, I'll be creating my delicious caramelized tofu spring rolls. Not only are they meat-free, but they're also low in saturated fats because I'll be cooking them in my air fryer. So to get started, we're gonna need some tofu. And I'm gonna slice approximately a 2 centimeter thick piece. Now this tofu is nice and dried. I just removed the moisture out of it with some paper towel and a little bit of weight. So we're just slicing a piece off, about that wide. Now, firstly, I've got my pan on medium heat. Never go too hot because we don't want to burn the tofu. We just want to caramelize it. We just want to brown it a little. So we're going to add a little bit of vegetable oil. Now, all we do is I like to hold the tofu directly above the frying pan and I like to break it up with my fingers. We're almost going for like a ricotta vibe, but make sure you don't go larger than a pea to give you a good reference point. So we just break it up and we want to line the base of the frying pan. What I love about tofu is it stores really well. And if you're comparing it to, say, mincemeat, it's almost half the price, so you can't go wrong. And I love that it's just accessible everywhere these days. Okay, we're there. So now time to dress up the tofu. And we're gonna mix some delicious flavors that pack a punch. So firstly, I'm gonna start with my soy sauce, fish sauce. Now, fish sauce, obviously you don't need much of. It's only about a tablespoon there because it's bang full of flavor. I've got some minced ginger and garlic. You just can never go wrong with ginger and garlic. Brown sugar and also rice wine vinegar. Now, using a fork, I just give it a bit of a mix. Now, you don't have to stress about having to completely break down the brown sugar because it's gonna cook, so it's gonna break down on its own. Now, we can hear the tofu's basically saying add the flavor. So, just gonna pour that in. The brown sugar will help caramelize and color the delicious tofu. So let's just leave that on heat for a little bit longer. We want the moisture to evaporate a little bit because we don't want it to be too watery when we're rolling our spring rolls. Okay, all the moisture's removed, so we need to take it off heat. We need to let it cool down so we can start rolling. Okay, so now that our tofu has cooled down, it's about 10 to 15 minutes, we're gonna start rolling. I've got my spring roll pastry, pop it down. Now, here's a pro tip, 45-degree angle, and that's gonna give us even consistency. The sizes are all gonna be the same, and we get to pack it nice and tight. So, let's grab about 2 tablespoons. Now, we've made enough for about 6 to 8, so for me, I'll need to do about 4 or 5 batches. Just kidding, I love these. So we've got it nice and semi-centered, a little bit closer to me, and we're gonna start with the first fold over, and that's the one we're gonna use to tuck it nice and tight. Now, we fold over the edge to the middle and the other edge to the middle also. Now we're just gonna roll it and tuck it, roll, tuck, roll. There we go. A really nice, tight and consistent spring roll. Let's do a few of those. Angle, a couple of tablespoons. The smell is so good. The ginger, the garlic, it's street food at its finest. Fold it over, tuck it in, fold the edges over, and don't stress if it's not perfect. We're just gonna say it's creative and organic. Perfect. Now, as you can see, the sizes are the same. It's all to do with the technique. So remember, 45 degrees, and you can't go wrong. So this recipe came about by my close, in fact, he's my best friend, he's a vegan buddy, and I didn't like the fact that he was always missing out on my meat spring rolls. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna create something special for you. He absolutely loved it. And funnily enough, when he took his first bite, he had to have a closer look to make sure it wasn't meat. True story. And the good thing is, it's so much cheaper than meat as well. Introducing a couple of meat-free dishes or meals throughout the week is a great way to look after yourself. And it's also fun and easy. In fact, rolling these spring rolls, you can get the kids involved. They love it. Okay, so that's it. I got my caramelized tofu spring rolls ready to go. So I'm gonna add them in my air fryer. We're gonna give them a light spray with olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, and it's gonna help give them a nice, beautiful golden brown color. And that's all the oil we're gonna use. Remember, no deep frying. All they need is 10 to 12 minutes on 180, and we're gonna have perfectly golden, delicious caramelized tofu spring rolls. Oh, look at that. Golden, beautiful. They're ready. I'm gonna create an easy, simple, and delicious dipping sauce. I've just got about half a cup of soy sauce, and I'm gonna add some chili. Now this is completely optional, but I like to leave the seeds in as well, because I love that chili punch. But if you're serving it to kids or first-time chili eaters, just remove the seeds. Okay, so we're just gonna add our chili, seeds and all, straight in. I've got lettuce cups and also some delicious Vietnamese mint and coriander. But first, I need to create a resting place for my spring rolls. So I've got my multi-brown baking paper. Now, what I like to do is, just to go for a little bit of a rustic vibe, I like to scrunch it up a bit, because believe it or not, the spring rolls taste better when they're on the baking paper. Just kidding. Now, we're just gonna add our golden brown spring rolls. Smell is so good. Remember, this is a great way to add a meat-free day to your home, and kids are gonna love it. And there you have it, my delicious caramelized tofu spring rolls, all cooked in my air fryer. For this recipe and more, head to thehealthycooks.com or check out our Facebook and Instagram.